Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. I'm so excited today. I've got actress and stunt woman Avaah Blackwell with me. So welcome, Avaah.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
I love those glasses.
Thank you. They're my blue light glasses. So they have a bit of a weird sheen, but
yeah. That's
nice.
Smart though.
Yeah, I do notice a distinct difference in my eyeball stamina.
Yeah.
And my ability to sleep, after wearing these, if I'm wearing it close to bedtime, which we always are. We're always on our screens close to bedtime. Yeah, I've noticed. I highly recommend the blue light glasses.
I need to do that. Like yesterday, I had 4 interviews just in a row, back to back. So I was on a computer for 6 hours straight. And by the last one, I could barely keep my eyes open.
Yeah, no, you need these. These exact look lovely on you. The cat eye, the oversized 60 cat eye.
I like those.
Yeah.
It's stylish.
Thank you.
Well, that's all I have.
Buy these blue light glasses. I'm not endorsed by any product. I don't even know what.
Yeah.
They don't sponsor.
Not endorsed yet.
I'm open to sponsorship.
Yeah. Once they see this, this interview, everything could change.
I take a nice little right-hand turn here.
So Avaah, I like to start here during the interviews. Tell me a little bit about what made you want to get into the entertainment business. And you've got kind of a unique role. I know you do some acting as well, but you do a lot of stuff that we don't get to talk about enough. And I'm really interested to hear about it. So how'd you get into all of that?
Thanks. Well, just just hustling away and just not wanting to say no to opportunities that present. Basically being scared of being left out. Not true. I mean, a little bit of truth, but I don't know. I was always an actor. I started as an actor. That was my desire as a kid. I loved acting, and I went for it. And I was fortunate enough to have parents that, although they had no idea what the industry was about, they were supportive enough to help send me off to film school.
Yeah.
And that was very kind of them. They were always supportive in that way. And then even in film school, when I wasn't acting in one of the films that the film students had, we were in the acting program, and there was 50 film students at Prague Film School and 10 of us actors from around the world. So it was a cool little thing. I mean, they would all do films. And even when I wasn't acting in one of their films, I would hop on and do lighting or makeup artistry. I just wanted to learn all of the facets of filmmaking, and because I felt like it was free cross training and just a way to support my fellow artists in their projects that they were doing. So that theme has always been in my career, no matter what. And then stunts came about because I had a physical background, and because I'm tall, I was sort of just always auditioning for action stuff. I guess I kind of have that hit. I get compared to Theron sometimes, which is very nice. I'll take that. I'll take it. Take it.
Not terrible.
Not terrible. So I just kind of was that actor who showed up on set and started bugging the stunt people, being like, hey, I want to get better at this, so I can audition properly and be good when I show up on set for action stuff. So can I come train with you? And they were nice enough to let me come train with them. And I was terrible when I started, and now I'm okay.
How tall are you?
I say I'm 6 feet on a good day, and I'm 5'11" barefoot.
Yeah, that's pretty. You would tower above me. I'm 5'8", 5'9".
No, you're not. You seem so much taller.
Thank you.
Oh, the frame.
Yeah. This is my Tom Cruise effects I have going on.
Nice. I met him. He was the first big actor I ever met. Tom Cruise.
How was he in person?
Crazy, but intense. Very a crazy, chaotic, hyper-focused genius. He's cool. I got to see him do a stunt, set up, it was 2 or 3 days after I graduated film school in Prague, and they were shooting Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. And I was on the cast. So another thing I do casting sometimes. or I used to, I don't do it as much anymore, but I got onto the casting team for that, for the Prague team. And then they were shooting and they showed up to set, and which was right outside my film school. And Tom Cruise was setting up like a big wire gag across 2 buildings, which was cool. Got to shake his hand and he was like, "Thanks for being here." And I had bangs at the time and I looked like Katie Holmes, and it was, I think that's why he took a shine to me.
I think he would be, that'd be a fun guy to me, because he is so intense, and he's very, he's very athletic. He does a lot of his own stuff, and yeah, I think he'd be a fun one to interact with.
He was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, not terrible. So, I mean, growing up, were you athletic? Were you into sports?
Kinda, yeah. Like I was always playing stuff. I was a prairie kid from Alberta, which is, just near the Rocky Mountains, and about an 8-hour drive away from Vancouver. No, it's longer than that. It's like 12 hours, but in the Rocky Mountains and prairie country. So we were always outdoors doing things. I was on a softball team. I did karate. Because I'm so tall, everybody always assumes that I did volleyball and basketball, but I didn't. I did both. Well, I did a little volleyball, but I didn't like basketball. So
yeah. Were you any good at volleyball?
I was good at volleyball. I liked it, but I was always torn because all of the sports teams wanted on the team, but I was more interested in like band practice and drama.
Yeah.
Because I'm a geek like that. I'm just a giant nerd. So I would go to drama, to band practice, and they would fight over who got me. And then I would take off and go to karate or my softball practice. That's pretty much what I did. Yeah.
That's pretty busy.
Uh-huh. And then the summers we were always at camp. We were always like canoeing and hiking and horseback riding and all that kind of stuff. So we kept active.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty busy. Who was so when you got into this stunt doubling stuff, who was the first person that you had to double?
The first person I had to double was a woman named Sharon Bell on Jupiter's Legacy. That was my first ever stunt doubling gig. And
that wasn't that long ago.
That was only 2019. That was like pre-pandemic. It was like late 2019, had my first stunt doubling gig, and then pandemic hit, and then 2021 everything picked back up and away it went. So yeah, stunts is a relatively new venture for me.
Yeah, but you've done a bunch of it in just a couple of years.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Now, Jupiter's Legacy I was very disappointed that they didn't continue that. I actually really like the show, but I'm a big fan of the comic books. Yeah. I was disappointed we didn't get a season 2. I thought it was underappreciated.
I felt so too, and I don't know why they didn't get a season 2. The fight team, like the stunts team on that show, was incredible.
The fights were incredible.
The fights were incredible. Such an incredibly talented team, both Canadian and Americans, on that show, and they made some fantastic stuff. And I thought it was a good show. I like the comics as well. I read all the comics because I auditioned. This happens to me a lot. I auditioned for the role that I was stunt double for, and I was one of the picks. Yeah. And then I had auditioned for the stunt team, but so new to stunts that I was like, I didn't think I would make the core team or anything. But then they were like, I thought it was connected that I got the stunt doubling gig because I had auditioned for the actor role, but it wasn't even connected. It was just my face was up on the wall to be picked. It was Aaron, one other actress it was down to for Iron Orchid, and then separately I got the stunt doubling role, which was kind of cool. So sometimes like meant to be that you're on that set doing that thing.
I mean, that's not a bad second option.
No, it's not.
Because it still gets you on set.
Yeah, no, exactly. And sometimes it happens that I audition, supposed to stunt double me, but then they realize I do stunts. So then they just change the action so that I don't require a stunt double, and the insurance, like they can still do it for the insurance. So it's good. I have yet to have a stunt double on set.
I think that's pretty great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, I think that's pretty great. So, hey, are you caught up on the comic books? Have you read the new ones?
I haven't read the new ones. Don't spoil it for me.
I won't spoil it, but that comic series is so crazy. And the new ones, it's some of the offspring, I'll say that, of the people that we're saw in season one. In the comics, it's further down the line. It's so good though. So good. I guess there's another one coming out, I don't know, first of next year. Something like that.
I think that show is such a huge missed opportunity. I mean, that's just me sitting here as somebody who, likes comics and liked series was about and stuff. It's too bad, man.
Yeah, I was disappointed in it. Did you get to wear one of the costumes?
Yeah, you can check it out in my stunt reel and in my acting reel. I got the Iron Orchid, the big purple mask that's in the episode. That's me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Cool character, very cool character.
This is because if it was me, I would try to be hanging on to some of those outfits so I could just show up at conventions in costume.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'd love to be able to. They're very protective about those costumes. And I think the Iron Orchid mask costs something. I don't know exactly how much it costs, but it's got to be in the.
Oh, I'm sure it's expensive. Yeah. But wouldn't that be cool? You just show up and I'd say, here I am, Iron Orchid.
Yeah, I'm here in character. I will sign autographs. But Karen did a great job in that role too. The actress, she was pretty incredible. We were both very sad when that got canceled. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm disappointed with that. You did some stunt work on The Expanse.
Yeah, I did. The Expanse that's a funny show. I was constantly auditioning for that show and making it to
I'm surprised they didn't want you just on the show. You seem like you would fit.
This is the funny thing about The Expanse is I was constantly meeting with the directors. They were bringing me in from season 1 season 2 because it's shot in Toronto and around season 2 and constantly for belters, for officers, for all this other stuff. And then they ended up I did utility stunts on that show. So I did everything and I had a performing day as a stunt performer, but then I got booked to go do Legends of Tomorrow for a month in Vancouver. So then I had to cancel that day and went to Vancouver. And when I came back, they direct offered me an actor role. Be like, why aren't you on the show at least? Get in the show. And then that actor role ended up getting written out. So I never made it to camera on The Expanse. Can you believe it?
I can't, because you'd have been the perfect belter.
Right?
Yeah.
Again, a missed opportunity in my books, but I mean, it's a cool show.
Have you read those books?
I haven't read those books.
Oh, you should.
He says, yeah. When I was auditioning for the show, I read bits and pieces, and I know a lot of people who are huge fans of books. They always gave me a rundown, but I didn't. When that was filming, we were very busy on track, so I honestly didn't have a lot of time to read much of anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I know. That's why I said you stayed so busy. So you had Legends of Tomorrow, but you also did a little bit on Supergirl.
I did do a little bit on Supergirl. Mm-hmm. Good research. Yeah, I doubled another.
I like the nerdy stuff, and you've hit a ton of it.
I know, but I haven't hit enough. I want to keep hitting all the nerdy stuff because I love it. I doubled another woman from Trek. She has her history in Trek, Brenda Strong.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of her. She's really good. Incredible.
She's a great presence on screen. She's super cool in person too.
Yeah.
Lucky enough to get to double her for her big ending scene, which was cool.
Yeah. That's
bullet for her.
I just have this in my head, the double, it's kind of like the cartoons they used to show where you've got the actor and they're doing their part and stuff. And as soon as it starts to get dangerous, they're like double.
Pretty much.
And you do all the hard stuff.
Yeah. But it was so cool because on Brenda, her costume and outfit, they look very elegant and cool. But when, when they put it on me, for some reason, I looked like a mafia wife. So I aviators. I'll try and find a photo and I'll show. But I had these big aviators on, so I was just standing there with like my plaid one, looking like this mafia wife, watching her. It was funny.
I mean, they try to match up shape and size, right?
Yeah.
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 I guess it's tough to get perfect though.
Well, they do a good job. I'm the same size as a lot of these actresses, like especially with Rebecca. We're very similar in Rebecca Romaine from Star Trek, Una, and we're very similar in size. And I'm very similar to another lady I doubled, Lauren Lee Smith.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, we're pretty much the same size, but like you're different people, so you got to do your best to try and mimic your actors' movements and the way they initiate things and the way stuff. But like, sometimes, especially if it's your first day working together, like you do your best, but it gets better over time. That's why a lot of actors are traveling with their stunts, because that's something that really can only happen over time.
Well, I was going to ask you that is, how do you know what to do? Do you watch a lot of film, or are you just there and kind of watch them and then just try to mimic it on the spot? I mean, do you practice ahead of time?
Well, both. So it depends how much time you have, like how much notice you have before the gig, and how long you're going to be with that actress. And sometimes you don't even necessarily know who you're doubling and up on the day, because that's just the way film is sometimes. But if I have time and I know who the actor is, I try to look up all their other work, and I try to watch them, and I try to see like stuff of them so that I can sort of, at least see what foot they initiate their movements with, which if they're like left hand or right hand dominant, the way they move their head, how they carry themselves, for all that kind of stuff. It's important to show up and to fit into that as cohesively as possible.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. So I got a couple that I think I've seen you in, but you got to tell me if I'm, because I could be wrong. So I'm going to throw them out there because I couldn't find it, but let's see if I got it. So 12 Monkeys.
Yes.
You were like it's like an alabaster woman.
Yeah, good stuff.
And then the other one, sticking with the comic book theme, was Why the Last Man.
Yes. Yeah, that was a fun day. That was a day I didn't know I would have lines when I showed up. It was supposed to be a stunt performer day, and I showed up and they gave me sides. And I was like, cool. And I'm reading through them. And I was like, why does my character have, like, there's lines? I'm saying stuff. So that was fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That was another one. I was disappointed didn't get to continue on.
I know. I don't know why that one in particular got canceled, because it had so much momentum. That was a good show. It
was a good show. I know. I was very disappointed because it got canceled before I even finished the show. I mean, I went ahead and finished it, but I already knew.
Yeah, I know. It was very strange. It was like mid-season run and it got canceled. I don't understand. Make it make sense, please.
I know. I don't get it. So you're doubling number one on Strange New Worlds, but did you start there, or did you also double her back on Discovery?
She didn't, as far as I know, she didn't have a double on Discovery. Because I don't think she had much stunts. If she did,
have a lot. She was only on there for a little while.
Yeah, for a little while. I don't recall her having any stunts on Discovery. I am so sorry. If she did have a double, I actually don't know who it is, and that's my bad. So I don't think she had, because I would have heard. But, and if I'm wrong, somebody please correct me. Please tell me if you're listening to this. But I was busy playing Ina on
I know. So, I knew you played Ina.
Yeah. It's not funny. It's Ina doubling. I love it so much. So I was busy at the time, and it's funny because we didn't meet on Discovery. We only met. We were on different stations the whole time. I was on the Discovery
really?
ship. the Enterprise, which they were in different stages, shot at different times. So I never met her. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wondered that. I knew you'd played Anna, but I was like, well, maybe you were doing work for her then. But I guess I didn't really think about there wasn't really any stunts in her.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can't an action-y show, but her character specifically, I don't think had any stuff. Could be wrong.
Yeah. So we had Melissa and Wrong both came on the show from Strange New Worlds. It's like we had the pilots.
Yeah.
They came on the navigators.
Cool.
The show. And they both expressed admiration for the work that you do. Said you're really good.
That's so nice. I gotta listen to I have to listen to their episodes. That's so kind.
Because I was telling them they were wanting to know who I'd had on, and I've had a ton of Star Trek people about it, but I told them you were coming, and they're like, "Oh yeah, she's amazing. She does such a great job." Yeah,
thanks. That's kind of them. Yeah, they're incredible people too. Melissa is getting a ton of attention that she very much deserves for work. She's such a good presence on camera.
She's so sarcastic.
Yeah, but also warm.
Yes.
Like, she's like Tig Notaro, but
a lot,
right? Like, but like her own flavor of it, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, me too.
I think both are super cool.
Yeah, I told her I thought, and they're both just terrific. But I thought, she was kind of the unexpected surprise on the show. I was like, oh, she's really good.
I don't know if you saw the last episode of La'an and Ortegas in in the coat and the dress. Chrissy and Melissa, they're such cool. They're both incredible people, and love seeing their work. That episode, so good.
They did a really good job with the casting, I think.
Didn't they?
Yeah. And then you got Christopher Pike's hair, which is like his own character on the show. It gets bigger every episode.
Yes. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. Were you a Trek fan ahead of time?
I mean, not to the extent that a lot of people are. The fandom that most people have for Star Trek, I have for Lord of the Rings.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, then growing up, my room was a shrine to Lord of the Rings. I read the books before the movies even came out, and I'm looking forward. I have like a cautious optimism towards the Rings of Power that are coming out.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, please be good.
I mean, they spent like so much money, like more money than what Game of Thrones spent, and they spent a ton of money. So I'm like, it's got to be kind of good, right?
So I really hope so.
Did you not try out for anything on that show?
I haven't been able to yet because just visas, and they did most of their shooting last year in New Zealand
for season one.
For season one, and I was very busy last year.
But so Elf.
I know. My dream is to become an elf. So I'm like, if anybody from Lord of the Rings is listening, please, your next elf is right here.
Yes, like
right. Please, like
I would put you as an elf ahead of you as a belter. You would fit.
Correct. Thank you. That is probably the best compliment I've ever received. Thank you so much.
But that's an easy one. Like if I saw you and I was a casting director, I would be calling you. Yeah.
Well, go cast Lord of the Rings, please.
I'll make some phone calls.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, come on. That's a no-brainer.
That's a shoo-in. Come on.
Don't be that person though that goes into the audition and is like a know-it-all, a Lord, because that's how I would be. They'd be doing it. I'd be like, well, according to the books.
My character wouldn't do that. It says so on page 2,506.
Be like, get this guy out of here. We're not doing this.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So I hope that's good. I hope Lord of the Rings is good. And you know what? I'm a big fan of, and I'm going to watch it tomorrow night because I find time. I'm going to sit down and watch all of the new episodes of Stranger Things. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh. It's so good.
Good. Oh, so
and like next Friday, the last 2 come out.
Yeah. Which is like, I'm so sad I haven't been able to watch it yet. But I'm so happy because shorter time period between me and me having to wait. So good.
Yeah, it was really good. Like I thought this one on par with like the first season. Really good.
Good. I was so sad when that got canceled. I was, how could that, or like not canceled, but ended and like, all that other stuff.
Yeah.
It just fits, and it's the right amount of time for it to be back. I'm like, thank you for bringing it back.
We needed it back. We
did.
Yeah. That was, oh man, so I love how nerdy you are.
Thank you.
When you were home, like the rest of us kind of stuck during the pandemic when we weren't allowed to go out that period of time, what were you watching? Was there anything that you binged that you were like, oh yeah, that was really good?
Let's see, what did I binge? Oh, my phone was just
you're there.
Like I had such a lot of people, I caught up on a lot of old like classic cinema. So I started going through like all of the old like Hitchcock stuff and
oh nice.
Yeah. And can't even remember what else. I watched Lord of the Rings. And I had a lot of anxiety, and I was really as we all did, but I was really self-isolating alone in my tiny little apartment that I had.
Yeah, that's rough.
It was rough. So I spent a lot of time outside. I would just leave. And Toronto was exceptionally bad. Like everybody got hit by it, but Canada was very strict, and Ontario and Toronto specifically we had some of the most stringent mandates and restrictions in place.
Yeah.
So I left my house and I would be running, and people would be yelling at me from their windows, telling me to get back inside. And I was like, no, I'm outside.
I'm just running.
And there was like, I wore a mask outside while I was running for a long time. And I taught myself nunchucks. So I watched a lot of YouTube videos on nunchaku and martial arts. And I'm such a nerd, man. Like I would be out in the field for hours, like, just twirling my nunchucks. It was great. That's what I did.
How many times did you smack yourself in the face?
Many times. So I'm fairly certain I gave myself a few like minor concussions. But I finally got the ones with foam. Like when everything started like chip again, I got the ones with foam. So then we were good.
Yeah, very nice. I was very unprepared for being stuck at home because they shut the gyms down. So I was like, that's okay. I'll go run at the park. Well, then they shut the parks down and they kind of made you stay inside, and you couldn't find any workout equipment anywhere.
None. It was all gone. All gone.
So I was like, okay, I guess I'm just eating.
Oh wait, I gained. It was not a good few. It was not a good year in terms of
like when it first happened. I was like, I can do this for a couple of weeks, no big deal. It might be fun. And then it was like a couple months. I was like, okay, I think that's it. And then it just kept going. I was like, oh my gosh.
I know, it was terrible. I'm just gonna plug my phone in because it just here.
Yeah, plug it up.
We're plugging it in. I'm just gonna hang out here and talk to you. That's cool.
So when you
hey, what's up? I feel like we're by the water. I was the same way. Like I was all for it for the first couple weeks. In Canada, it was the big like 2 weeks to flatten the curve kind of thing, and I was like, sure, whatever you need,
It did not flatten.
It did not. There was no that. It just kept curving. It got very curvy.
So when you're on set to double, what's that like?
Yeah,
What's like a typical day on set?
Typical day on set?
Yeah.
Well, it depends. It depends if I'm stunting or acting, but there's always a COVID test involved now. So we show up, we say hello, we drop our stuff off at our trailer, or sometimes we just go straight to COVID and we say hello and we have a COVID test there.
Yeah.
We wear our masks. I go into my trailer, I get warmed up, whether it's my voice, and then I always do like a body warm up. It'll be different if I'm stunting or acting, a little more intense if I'm stunting. And then I put my costume and my pads on, like my stunt pads if I'm stunting, go to the trailer, get my hair and makeup done, see my people, see everybody, say hello. That's where we chit chat about everything. And then we do our private blockings. We go to set. And then I'm either watching my actress and making sure she's safe and then getting in there and fighting, or I'm watching the blocking and what my other actors are doing and then getting in there and talking to them on camera.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, do you have a favorite stunt that you've had to do?
There's so many. The one on Jupiter's Legacy would have been really cool if we got to it. The rehearsal was really fun. I got to fly on a big wire and get kicked in the face by one of the superheroes and like fly 30 feet in the air. But we didn't actually get to that on the day, but the rehearsal for that was fun. It's the opening shot of my demo reel. So it was my very first stunt ever, and to date, probably one of the most memorable. And then
that's a fun one for the first one.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
It's a really fun day. That's how I literally got thrown into stunts like that. It was pretty incredible. And then there's been a couple of really big fights, like really big fights on Star Trek that we've done. In Ghosts of Illyria, the third episode, there's a fight between La'an and Una. That was a fun fight to do. They used me. That's when Una's walking in, that's me walking in.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, that was a fun one to watch.
And then when I throw Christine Trin the double, and so when I throw La'an's double and I run forward towards her and get on top of her, that's still me. They held on me the entire shot, and that's what they used in the edit. It's pretty incredible.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. Rebecca and I are a good match. I'm happy that they were able to do that.
Has she called you outside of Star Trek and been like, I got this thing and I don't really want to go to? Could you step in?
Not yet, but I would.
I totally would do that if I had
Rebecca,
a double.
I got you.
I said, if I had a double, I would totally do that. Or if I was doubling,
I would abuse those privileges so much if I had a double too. But, I'm also happy to do it. She's got her kids and her husband, and she doesn't get to see them enough because she's got this, little thing that she's doing, this small show that takes up some of her time. Yeah. So, yeah, if she doesn't want to go to a party, I'll be there.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Did I see you like hosting some type of show? You were like interviewing other people.
Yeah, for a minute there, when the stuff happened with Afghanistan, when the states pulled out and the Taliban took over, I decided to. My friend owns a news channel, an international news channel, and
nice.
That topic is pretty close to my heart. It deals with a lot of things. My father, both of my parents are military personnel, and my father served 2 active duty tours in Afghanistan. Yeah. And was, I just didn't think it was right what was happening in the world. So I just got on, I got on and interviewed some specialists about it on his show. So I
saw some of that. You were really good at it.
Thank you. I do like it. I love interviewing people. You're also very good at it.
Oh, thank you so much. I wasn't fishing, but I appreciate it.
No, it's true. You're great to talk to. I enjoy talking to you.
Yeah, thank you. You should consider doing a podcast.
You know what? I do have low key. I have one in development right now with a friend of mine. So hopefully we can get it off the ground when it's in the works right now. We've just been both busy filming, and she runs a company. So we've got one in motion.
Well, if I can be of any help, reach out.
Thank you. That's such a great compliment coming from you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe I will get in touch with you and be like, hey, maybe we can just separately from this, or on the air right now, but we could just take some time and talk about it. That'd be great.
We'll talk about it. Or I'll bring you guys on. We'll promote it.
Yeah, we'll bring you on.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I don't get interviewed enough. I'm sure I have, amazing things to say.
You have, for sure you do. For sure you do. All the people you've talked to.
Yeah, I've been so lucky. As a nerd, it's been the best.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been the best. So what's the subject matter? What's the podcast going to be about?
Well, it's called I don't want to say anything too official, so I won't say the title or anything, but essentially, she's a woman I really look up to in business, and she's run her own company from the time she was, 20, and built it into a multinational, multi-million-dollar company. And I'm an actress, and she used to be in TV, then got into this, and I used to be in her field of business, and then I got into TV.
Very nice.
So we have a nice crossover, and she looks like she could be my sister, but she's old enough to be my mom. So we have this cool dynamic where she kind of mentors me, but we're also friends. So we're just speaking, we just want to talk about our experiences and help, young women and entrepreneurs and artists find their path in life, and sort of learn from our mistakes, learn from the people that we're interviewing, all about their expertise. It's sort of it'll be like a Tim Ferriss podcast but artsier and fun.
Yeah, I like that. Make it artsy.
Make it artsy, right?
Yeah. No, that sounds awesome. Yeah, definitely.
Thanks.
Don't give up on that. You got to do that.
Thank you so much. I will not give up on that. We'll keep going with that.
I'll give you some positive vibes.
Thank you. I could use them. I appreciate them. Thank you. I'll take those.
So I know we got to wrap up, but there was another comic book one I wanted to throw out there, because you did some work with Locke and Key too.
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky enough to double Liza, who plays Dodge. Yeah. She's pretty cool. She's pretty fantastic.
She was amazing on the show.
Isn't she amazing on screen? And she's cool in person too. She's the nicest. She's so fun, and spunky is the best word I have for her. And
that's a good word. Watching her, you kind of get that. You're like, she's spunky.
Yeah, she is. She's spunky. And she's doing a new series soon with Taylor Sheridan, who did Mayor of Kingstown here. She's doing Lioness.
That was a great show.
Yeah, wasn't that cool? I didn't get on that show. I was booked for it. They wanted to book me for some stunts on that show, but I was not available. I was filming something else. That's how it goes sometimes. But
that has to be frustrating, because you want to be on all of it.
I want to be on all of it. And honestly, this is the way it works. And I just had this happen last week. Haven't worked in 2 weeks. I'm actively auditioning and stuff. Didn't have a day booked for 2 weeks. 3 shows called me for the same day. For the same day.
How do you choose?
Guys, work it out. But that's anybody in the industry will confirm that is always how it goes. And then when you're busy, the busier you are, the busier you're going to be. It's just the way,
Well, how do you choose which show to do if you get several?
Yeah,
offers?
that's tough. Generally, I like to stick by, if I've made a commitment, I try to keep it. So just because I'm booked on one show and then somebody else comes and says, can you work for me here? This is especially in stunts. It's a little different in acting, but in stunts, if a coordinator books you, the etiquette is to then go, if somebody else wants to book you for those days, you say, hold on, let me check. I have a booking already, but let me check and see, especially if it's something you want to do, or it's another show you have a relationship with. You then go to the coordinator and you say, hey, another show is calling me. Are we firm? Are we confirmed for these days? They then have an opportunity to basically give you a contract for that day, right, and book you solid or let you go. So that's the etiquette I try to stand by. But if it's something acting related and I just have a 1 day, 1 line kind of thing, and it's somewhat easily replaceable versus a guest star or a recurring, of course I'm going to take that, so. Well,
yeah, I would think if you're stunting, but then you get, say, a role on a comedy that's recurring, then I would think that would be okay to take that job.
Yeah, and that's a case-by-case basis. And usually, sometimes some productions can also work it out between themselves. And that's usually when I'm like, okay, I'm just going to have like my team, like my manager and my agents step in and be like, you all sort it out. I tell them the gig that I want, and then they just sort it out for me.
Yeah. I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, Avaah, thank you so much. This has been awesome. I knew it would be. I'm a big fan of yours. We need to get you. We need to get you out there more.
Yeah, please. I'd love to. I mentioned my manager. I'm really happy. I just signed with my manager in the States, Scott Reynolds. Nice. At Rothman Andres Entertainment, and I just got an agent in the States too, and we're just finalizing my visa to be working over there. So breaking into your market now, and maybe I'll see you down there, and we can actually have a cup of coffee and say,
oh, that'd be great.
Cool. Yeah.
If you're out in LA, I'm in West Virginia, but if you're I go to LA quite a bit because my wife works for Live Nation, so she's out there like every other week. So I'm out Live there. Nation, I sneak out there all the time. Oh, it is.
Oh, cool. Yeah, all right.
That's how we met. We were both working for Ticketmaster at the time, and that's how we met. I left, but she's stayed on and ended up, moving into Live Nation. So,
hey, cool. Congratulations to her. Sounds like a cool lady.
But I'm assuming you'll be in LA some. So we'll have
I will be soon. Yeah, I will keep you posted. And I'm also going to be in August. I'll be at the Star Trek convention in Las Vegas. So you can catch me there.
Oh, I'm so glad you I just got back from Vegas. My brother was celebrating his birthday, so I was out there with him.
Oh, hey, happy birthday to your brother.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. I was going to ask you if you were doing the convention route.
It's my first ever Star Trek convention. Like I've done other conventions, but this is the first one, like Las Vegas Star Trek. Please come see me. Anybody who's listening and you're going to be at the Star Trek convention, come see me.
Yeah, that's a big one. And I like that they always put all the Star Trek people together.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
It's kind of cool.
Yeah,
kind of hang out. Yeah. So a couple of quick things, Avaah, before we wrap up. Sure. Anything that you're working on that you've got upcoming that we can keep an eye out for?
Well, I mean, there's lots of things, but I have life-threatening NDAs that I can't. I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you and everybody So. Not really.
I know how that works.
Yeah, you know how that works. I have the Las Vegas Star Trek thing, and then I have there's a movie that's been in post-production for a little while, EFC movie. It's an MMA film that I'm starring in, and there's been some movement on that. You can watch out for that coming up. And then just keep an eye out on my Instagram. You can follow me at Avaah Blackwell, AVAAH, like you're screaming at the end. Avaah, AVAAH Blackwell, like it sounds. And that's where I put all my updates.
Yeah, that was my next question, is where we can find you on social media. So
yeah, you took care of it. There. That's where I'm most active. I'm also on TikTok. Help me out there. Follow me.
Hey, TikTok, that's a tough one. It's fun.
Just on it. I'm like, what is going on here, TikTok? But it's fun. I like scrolling. There's lots of cool stuff on there. And I'm on Twitter and all that other stuff under my name, first and last name. You can find me.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Okay, I'll give you one more. I think you should take a look at Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time?
Wheel of Time.
Oh, Wheel of Time. Yes, I've started watching that. It's so good.
It's so good. The books are amazing, and there's like 16 of them. So I'm sure they'll do a bunch of seasons, but you would fit on that show. You could totally do that show.
I'll get my manager on that. So we're getting my manager on Lord of the Rings. We're getting him on number one is Lord of the Rings. Let's get me on Lord of the Rings. Let's make that happen. And then Wheel of Time. Yeah,
maybe a Marvel show or movie.
Maybe a Marvel show that may be in the works. Maybe, can't say much. Maybe.
That's exciting. Are you the villain? That just means you have to come back when you can talk about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, very good. All right, Avaah, hold on one second. I really enjoyed that one, Avaah Blackwell. I think she's so talented. I was really excited to talk to her about the stunt doubling, because she's been on so many shows. I didn't realize she just started doing that a couple of years ago. but she's done a ton of them and really good geeky shows. So I was really excited to hear about that. But I'm really hoping that we get to see her more as an actress. I have a feeling she's going to be amazing. And she's right there. You know, she's right on the cusp of just exploding onto the scene. So excited to see that. Can't wait for what she has next. One of the things that I love to do on this show is bring people on right before their career really takes off, where they're known. I think that's so neat to get to watch that. And then I can say, see, I told you. Avaah definitely fits that. She's amazing. So keep an eye out for her. And I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll put this in. If you love Star Trek, and you know I do, we have got an amazing Star Trek playlist on our YouTube channel, MeisterCon Pod. We have had, I don't know, about a dozen guests from the Star Trek universe, all the shows. I think we've hit every show. We've had somebody on, amazing people, and you can see all of them just by clicking on that playlist. And if you would do us a favor and subscribe, YouTube, MeisterCon Pod, it would really help us out. That would just be the best. And it's free. Doesn't cost you anything. You can find all 400. I think today we are posting 408 episodes. We're not posting 408 episodes, but we're posting the 408th episode today. You can find all of them, audio and video, on our website, meistercon.com. There's a terrific, fun, geeky blog that my son does. He's just an amazing writer. I know you'll enjoy that. If we're doing anything in studio, if we're going on location, if we're covering a convention, you know, I'd love to get back out to Vegas and cover the Star Trek convention at some point. But if we're doing that, that'll be on the website, meistercon.com. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Bye, everybody.